He was a member of Canada's Muslim community who came forward to alert police to these two suspects in the first place. With me this morning from Ottawa is Ihsan Gardi. He's the Canadian Council on American Islamic Relations. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me on, Beverly.
Well, Mr. Gardi, I guess to begin with, I'd like to ask you how this affects, the people of the Muslim community that you certainly speak with on a regular basis, when all of a sudden there's the spotlight on the Muslim community because of things like this and there's so much misinformation. What's the mood of people that you talk to?
Well, firstly, Beverly, thank you for having me on, and I just want to say that we want to praise the authorities, law enforcement authorities involved for thwarting this alleged terror plot, and also that Canadian Muslims have and will continue to denounce this or any other alleged plot as something that is antithetical to our religion, and that we would certainly hope that nobody would take this to mean that this is reflective of, in any way, of the broader Muslim society. When it comes to the community, what we're hearing is that, we as Canadians as well also want to feel safe. And obviously there is a concern about backlash that some have raised, but we have full confidence that our fellow citizens will see this for what it is, the alleged criminal and misguided actions of a few individuals who are in no way representative of the broader society.
Well, let me ask you about the understanding of being a Muslim when we talk about, because again, there's a lot of headlines about conversion to Muslim and what happens and whether or not these people are more susceptible to radicalization. What are your thoughts?
Well, when it comes to conversion, obviously somebody who is coming into a new faith, Islam or any other faith, there's a steep learning curve. And one of the challenges as well is how do they interact and engage with the community, and also what is the reaction of their immediate family and friends as well in terms of their acceptance both into the community and the acceptance of their family, of their new faith and so forth. So, the idea that terrorism or extremist violence can be linked to one element, whether it's isolation or alienation, I think is oversimplifying what is a very complex process. There are multiple factors involved. For example, law enforcement authorities have for a long time now said that things such as the internet, where individuals who may not have a lot of knowledge about the faith will go to try and get answers to some of their questions. And this is one of the things that imams that I speak to across the country have been working really hard to reach out to new converts. There are lots of programs out there as well for these individuals who are looking for this kind of support and looking for the right answers to their questions.
One of those analogies that I heard used was that for somebody who converts to Muslim and they want to fit in, and again you were talking about the perception both inside and outside the community, that they said a story that was sort of like if you're trying to be a gang member, a motorcycle gang member, I think the word is called a striker, that they feel they have to work harder in order to be accepted. Is there any similarity with somebody converting to Muslim in that scenario?
Well, yeah, I think there are probably some parallels there. I'm sure that somebody who is coming into the faith versus somebody who is born into it may have a sense or may feel that they need to be more knowledgeable or acquire knowledge more quickly. But Beverly, I think it's important not to conflate religiosity with violent extremism. In fact, there's a study out of the UK by a think tank called Demos called The Edge of Violence, which in fact says the actual opposite, that it's individuals who are quite religious in nature who can be one of our key allies in this fight against terror, because they're the ones who are going to be able to combat and effectively counter the kinds of cut and paste arguments and interpretations that extremists use in order to try and justify their violent ideology.
Interesting. Ihsan Gardi, thank you so much for speaking with us this morning.
Thanks for having me on, Becky.